I see the dating scene as like a game. Men are evaluated by the amount of resources that they have.
Yeah.
The car, the house. And then women are evaluated by how feminine, fit, and friendly they are.
What is submissive?
Yeah,
right? I have a thing.
Yeah.
Me too,
I have
that
a
was
thing with this word submissive
that's
because
I get what you're saying, though.
I hear like, you know, some days I hear, some days I don't hear.
Yeah.
Some days, depending on who's using it and how they're using it, you know,
Because it changes.
You know what I mean?
I think that a woman who really wants to win needs to worry herself about what the type of man she's looking for wants. So a woman who does not like me is a woman that does not like accountability.
I'm with Teko here on the terminology of the word submission is interesting. What you're telling me is like we as a couple have a plan together. And are you saying they're submitting to the plan that we have as a relationship or to the other individual? Because those are two different things.
She's submitting to the plan, but the driver of the plan is the man.
A friend of mine invited me to a church. I thought it was a church. We went to some house. We get to a house. I'm like, what's going on? My friend disappears. Next thing they're talking to me about God, and I'm interacting. I'm like battling them. I'm like, yeah, but the word says this. Next thing I know, I'm getting baptized.
I'm still driving last night. Strip packed up ass tight. Table dancer dodging hips. Do you know what that's like?
Sometimes, like one of the most endearing qualities is when you're able to adjust. When someone says, hey, that makes me uncomfortable. And you just take it as that and you say, okay.
Yeah.
Some
okay,
people
cool.
don't say that.
And then you just, so when you say like, you hope that didn't make her uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If she was uncomfortable, I would expect her to be like, okay, you know, and
people don't.
then you should get it and be like, okay,
Yeah.
sorry if that made you uncomfortable. I didn't mean anything by it, you know.
Bro,
So don't be too hard on yourself. We make mistakes.
I got fired for something someone
I was
said.
about to
Oh,
say,
shame.
he has
I
to be
lost
hard
my
for himself.
job.
He's
Yeah.
got to be hard on himself.
Yeah, bro. It's
No, I'm telling you why. He's got to be, and then it's up to the people within the situation to have the grace. Like, okay, cool, don't do it again, whatever. So that's between two people.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I got fired, bro. I remember I was just hugging somebody at work, and it was like a chill type
Thanks,
thing.
Thank
But
you.
she kind of wanted me,
Mm.
so she was upset the fact that I hugged somebody else,
And
and then
then
she took it to HR.
and said what to HR.
I don't know, but it was enough for me to
So
get
when
fired.
they came to you and fired you, what did they say the reason was?
Inappropriate, what? They were just saying stuff. It's
Wow.
like they just wanted to
You
fire
know,
me.
it's a cult, right?
Damn, that's crazy, bro.
It's a Christian cult.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they use this to fund the Christian cult.
Let's
It's
see.
Yo, I love that. See, you see this shit?
Oh,
Bro.
Interesting
Interesting fact. I once got baptized into a cult, though.
Oh, many people
Really?
have. People don't know that.
What? V,
That's
you see the
crazy.
stories just keep coming up
No,
from
this is
everywhere. What do you
fact.
mean?
I got baptized. A friend of mine invited me to a church. I thought it was a church. We went to some house. We get to a house. I'm like, what's going on? My friend disappears. Next thing they're talking to me about God, and I'm interacting. I'm like battling them. I'm like, yeah, but the word says this. Next thing I know, I'm getting baptized. I don't know how we got there.
What the fuck?
Not very popular. All religions are cults, man. So
True say.
very much.
Okay,
yeah.
please unpack
They
that.
start as a cult.
Yeah, unpack that. What do you mean they start as a, okay. When you say start
Yeah,
as
they start as a
cult.
cult.
Yeah.
and then-
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
I
charismatic
can-
leader,
Yeah.
following,
Okay.
and
You
then
say it
once
like
it's
that.
commercialized, it's called a religion.
It's a religion.
Now, hell no.
They gotta pay
Also,
us.
B, what's that?
Hey, what?
What's that, B? That drop? No,
The
this
dropping
one.
one.
Oh yeah, this is a. Can I give it to
It looks like poppers or something. Let's
Poppers?
see.
What's a popper?
Poppers,
Is
man.
that an essential
You're
oil or
clearly not
something
gay. That's cool.
What? Is that okay then?
Okay.
Poppers
No.
was popular amongst gay people at the time.
Fragrance
Yeah.
oil. Poppers are like a sexual stimulant.
Why do you know so much
Poppers.
about it?
Yeah.
I've heard the name, but
They
I've
like
actually
sniff it.
never.
They sniff it, yeah. So it's popular in the gay scene. It also
Oh.
loosens and softens the
Oh,
rectum.
No,
yeah.
people just get relaxed. with
Oh, I
poppers.
thought it was
It's-
specifically
it's
that.
not-
It relaxes you. So if you're stressed
Yeah.
out, you just what do? Drink it.
No, like it's like okay.
I mean,
It's
I'm
like
not
a sexual
wrong. technically,
stimulant.
then, if
It's
you
like a
relax,
sexual
yeah.
stimulant that like just like it gives you this rush where you just like open-minded about like a lot of stuff for like
Okay.
3 minutes or so. Yeah.
Open-minded isn't like you're free.
You're
Just,
free
So
to
it's not
try
a drug.
anything.
Is it a rape?
It's not
date
like
rape?
it's,
No.
it's really like an over-the-counter thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But just because it's over the counter doesn't mean it's not a drug. It just
It
means
is a drug.
Everything's
Yeah,
a drug.
everything is a
Right,
drug.
right. Everything
You know
is
what I
a
mean?
drug. Yeah.
Alcohol is
100%
drugs.
It's drugs.
We just
The-
ingest
The
it.
Poison.
worst. It's the
Drugs.
biggest
Yeah.
drug problem.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's actually the biggest drug that's pushed.
Yeah,
Also,
straight up.
cigarettes.
Cigarettes, then sugar.
Yeah,
Sugar's
sugar.
the biggest.
Yeah, sugar.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
booze is bigger because it's got sugar and alcohol in it.
Oh, because it's a combination of
I
both.
think it's like the number one killer, but
Sugar's everywhere,
B,
though.
you were saying I want to hear this cult story, dog. Like,
And I didn't know I was in a
what's
cult.
the name of this cult?
I don't know, but something about God is the mother.
God is the mother.
Yeah, the mother of God is. There's a couple of Asian people I should have known when I saw Asian people.
Yeah.
It's just random Asian people sitting on a pulpit thing and all over in chairs. And I was like, okay, we're in a house. What's going on? My friend's like, I gotta go. Just call me when you need me to pick you up. And she just left. Bro, and I'm like,
What time of the day was this?
It was daytime. It was really quiet, but it was daytime, bro.
Yeah.
Nah.
And then you sat there and got baptized, not my nigga.
My thing was I was debating, it was a back and forth thing. Right? I don't know what they said, but something was.
How old were you?
I was 20 something.
My nigga, you old enough to be like, nah, I've seen enough horror films.
No. All love, no respect. You look like the type of homie that should get sucked into a cult for real.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
I look like a sucker, basically.
You got I told you got that like lover boy, the world is virtuous. Like I can see you being in a cult.
Yeah,
like,
I'm glad you said that, dog. I'm glad you said that. Because if it came from me, B was gonna say I'm hating. You know what I mean? Like,
you're my biggest hater on this podcast.
Yeah, B was gonna say I'm hating.
Like I said, like the world is. Bro, if we didn't have like naive people, you wouldn't have such great, beautiful things.
Yes.
You know, it's
okay,
like you need romance.
True.
It's okay.
True. 100% true. I mean, I wear what I want, dog. You see? He's the type of, you see?
You are giving Nike free money though, so that's on you. That's got nothing to do with the
Nike,
podcast. That's about you.
If you want to be here.
And you said you're a personal trainer, so they should definitely be giving you a bag. Like,
You see, this is how he got baptized by a cult. You see?
That's right here.
You see? Me as the type of nigga, I'd be like,
You better pay me.
what the fuck are you talking
I
about?
had like a very like deep, like stimulating debate with them back and forth, and then somehow it ended up there. And when I told my friend, I didn't realize this whole time it was a cult. Only when I left, when I told my friend like a month later, I was like, yo, bro, this is what happened. And he's like, dude, that's a cult.
Yeah, that tracks.
Oh, wow.
No,
Like, yo, I watch way too many horror stories for that to be a real thing. But anyway, I want to intro this show very early because we got a lot to talk about today, to unpack. A lot has happened this week. A lot is happening. And I feel like, we've got some very strong opinions on today's couch. But anyway, this is All the Smoke. My name is Seho, your host. BU, please introduce yourself.
Oh yeah, welcome to the show with the host of the GOATs. Right? Can I say it?
Ish, you see, I wanted to start this thing, dog. I really needed to stop
do it.
this.
They haven't voted yet. They have to vote.
Okay, guys, I want you guys to vote in the comments, please. Vu's gonna say it and then vote in the comments. Tell us if he should keep
everyone's gonna be
this
quiet and
intro
look at me.
or if he should not keep this intro. I don't think he should keep the intro. Go ahead.
Welcome to the show with the host of the GOATs, where the words get spoke, foot meets throats, and chokers choke, because this is all the smoke.
See, that's how they get you at the cult. That's how they do it. They hypnotize you understand? But anyway, comment. Let us know what you think. Anyway, please, guys, our guests today, I think, are very, like I said, opinionated people. I requested for one of them to be here specifically because I wanted to debate on some things. But anyway, guys, please introduce yourselves.
Hi guys, I am Coach Nonnie. I'm a professional matchmaker and relationship coach for men.
I didn't know you were a matchmaker.
That's right. We need to chat after this.
All right, my brother, please.
Hey, I'm less interesting than Coach Nonnie here.
Come on.
My name is Thabo Rametsi. I'm a filmmaker. Yeah, I think
Is that all you do in the film space?
Yeah, I act, direct, and I'm an author as well.
Go.
Yeah.
You're a businessman.
100%.
Yeah, I'm his fan. Like I'm a fan of his work and him as a person.
Do we know any of his work? You, I'm asking you, Mr. Fan.
I'll be back. I need to use the room. I'll be back just now. I'm being serious.
He's the craziest guy I know. Anyway, guys, thank you for coming. This is All the Smoke.
Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, Coach Nonnie, I requested for you specifically. I've been seeing like clips for some years now.
Yeah.
Actually, it's been some years now. And every time I see your clips, I'm like, yeah, this is one woman that I can definitely agree with and not just agree with, but I have this I feel this warmth inside sometimes when you stand up for men and you speak from our POV and you understand us. And it reminds me of who's Zakes Bantwini's wife?
Nandi. Gorgeous
People were
woman.
going at her when she was on Altito's podcast.
Yeah.
And she was saying like, yo, you guys need to, be considerate of men, basically. And people just were dragging her through the mud. But you're still here saying the same thing, just as kind to men as you were, from the first time I saw you. How did this even come about for you?
So I began content creation around COVID times. And actually before that, while I was in university, I graduated at the University of Johannesburg. And I just started posting content around relationship dynamics. And I was advising both men and women. And I used to hold these live sessions where my followers join in, and then we get to have like a back and forth on whether on whether they deserve the kind of person that they're looking for.
Wow.
And then I noticed a pattern. Whenever a woman would come on, they would just have these ridiculous demands. You find a woman who is, I don't know, mid-30s, 2 different kids, 2 different baby daddies, and she's describing the type of man who's the top 10%. And I'm unfortunately the person who has to bring them the reality that what you are looking for is unfortunately not what you actually deserve. So, and also within my matchmaking work, whenever I have a female client, you find that she is overweight, she is of an older age. She has 3 different kids. She's a divorcee. And what she's asking for is ridiculous.
Different kids or different baby daddies or whatever.
It really does not matter because the type of man you want needs to also be looking for you. So now, when I get to men are more practical, men are more logical. They're able to listen to me, pull out a pen and paper and actually say, okay, hit the gym, apply for a new job. Okay, this is what I should be going for. So naturally, I just started to gravitate towards men.
Less delusional,
Less delusional, more practical.
All right.
Yeah. I love my sisters too. I think that a woman who really wants to win needs to worry herself about what the type of man she's looking for wants. So a woman who does not like me is a woman that does not like accountability, who does not want to be called out. But a woman who really wants to win is a woman who'll say, oh, let me give her a chance. Maybe she knows better than me. Yeah.
Do you think it works both ways to where you feel like men that want a certain type of woman should also be practical in the sense that what is that type of woman looking for? And then I should become that.
That's what she's
Do you
saying.
agree as well?
Yeah.
So it's not just women should be, it's a men and women should be.
Yeah. So then my approach with my advice is that I see the dating scene as like a game or like a marketplace. There are existing rules. Men are evaluated by the amount of resources that they have. The car, the house, your social proof. And then women are evaluated by how feminine, fit, and friendly they are. Unfortunately, you just can't change those rules. So then if you are a man and you want the most beautiful woman, like the type of woman who will win Miss South Africa, then you need to be the type of man who can actually afford to have her retire.
What do you want to say?
No, it just clicked.
but
like when she said
just,
Miss South Africa, it clicked like, yo, there are standards.
Yeah.
Like whether you want to avoid them or not, Miss South Africa has also done a lot in her life to get herself to that point.
Dr. Musam Tombeni is a doctor. That's why he could get a former Miss South Africa. It's just
not to say it's impossible. I don't think it's impossible for like the average guy, average Joe that works a 9 to 5, a normal, like, I don't think it's impossible to.
It's not impossible because, Secho, I actually now tell people how to tip the scales in your favor.
Wow.
If you're a woman and you're not that pretty and you don't have the best banger, lock in, get that career so that you don't need your bottles bought at the club. So that you don't need a man to buy things for you because you understand your current standing that you're not the prettiest out of your peers. And then as a man, fine, you don't have the money. But if you're hot and you have the 6-pack, then maybe you may get a money.
Yeah, it makes it
who's
easier. Trust me.
So it's like I understand the whole marketplace. I understand the established rules, and I'm like, where do I put you in this ladder? And if you want to beat the game, this is what you're gonna have to implement.
I just gotta ask now because it sounded like to me like you're the female version of the South African Hitch. I don't know if you watch Hitch.
They actually told me about it.
I feel like it is. I feel like it is.
We just had it when I met her now. We were talking
I feel like it is.
That's what it sounds like to me. Now my question is,
I haven't watched that movie.
You haven't watched it.
You need to watch that movie, and then you need to figure out some type of marketing plan, scheme, PR around that thing. Like, trust me,
we'll produce the movie.
There we go.
I'll be the guy. I'll act.
He has superpowers, though, right?
No.
Oh, wrong movie. Okay.
Oh, you're thinking.
I know the movie where he has superpowers and then the girl has superpowers and then.
With Charlize Theron.
I also like that one, but it's not a classic like Hitches. Hitches, like more of a
You're
classic.
talking about Hancock.
Yeah.
Hancock. There you go.
Like you should think of me though as like the Olivia Pope of your love life. Like, I'm the fixer of your love life. Like I'm the one you call when something is going wrong in your marriage, or you can't get girls, or you're not confident enough, or you can't get
I want to probe to that.
Then you call me.
The reason why I spoke about the Hitch thing is because of what it sounds like. And what I learned from the movie is that there's no formula to love, right? So, for example, a Miss South Africa might want a short guy who's just funny.
Where?
Hilarious, funny guy.
Where?
I know there's, look, I know there's a norm.
The only short guy who's getting the best
Let me
girl.
land. Because I've seen this, right? So this is what I took from the movie. Like, you can be imperfect and then still find what works for you because of who you are beneath everything. You know what I mean? Your inner man, your when.
Yeah.
So some people just have ukas. Like, they just step into the room and you just like them, you know? And I'm trying to find out because you have basically a podium layers. So there's number one, there's number two, there's number three, then there's the rest, right? But I'm saying, but you do find anomalies where a number 5 or whatever number is at the bottom can still hook up with someone that you perceive as number one. So what do you say in those anomaly cases?
So then when I speak or when I advise, I think what a lot of people wouldn't like about me is that I'm very quick to bust your bubble because I like to bring in numbers very quickly and I like to say, give me examples. And then, and then every time someone wants to bring examples, they want to bring the exception, not the rule. The only short guy I can think right now who has a very tall, beautiful woman are men like Kevin Hart, Tom Holland with Zendaya. But
That's Korea.
But it's like, now I'm just cherry picking.
Yeah.
The average guy walking down the road.
Cherry picking is crazy.
It's just, so it's like, when a woman says she's looking for a guy with a take-home pay of about 30,000, I'm like, let's look at the statistics. Let's look at the population. What's the population of South Africans are employed? What's the percentages of that are men? How much of that are married? How much of that
are divorcees?
I'm not even checking for you. How much of those are gay? Now, what are you left with?
Yeah,
and then,
liars.
And then let's say you are a 35-year-old woman with 2 kids, 2 different baby daddies. You want a man. Your direct competitor is a 22-year-old girl at university right now. Tiny waist, fat ass, pretty face. That's your direct
She's at her prime. She's at her prime.
That's your direct. So now explain to me, why should a guy who grosses over $1 million per year, why should he pick you instead of a cooperative, younger, fresher
Naive.
woman? Why should he pick you?
Yes.
And then now people start to hate on me. I'm like, oops.
Where are you on the scale?
What
are you? Are you number one?
What's the scale?
I'm trying to figure out the scale.
A 10 would make you insanely high value. A 1 would make you less. I tried not to entertain those questions because I understand how human beings work.
I was about to say the same thing. I was about to say
when a human being does not like what you say, they do what I like to call sign language. They'll either try to shame you, insult you, guilt trip you, or they'll feel the need to be right.
I get you, yeah.
To shame someone, you simply need to point out something in them that they have no business being ashamed about. But because of what they spoke about, now they need to be ashamed of it. I'll make an example. Let's say Tejo says he doesn't like plus size women. A plus size woman will say, but your mom is plus size. What does that have to do with what he just said? I'm shaming him.
That's bars.
So then,
That's bars.
when I give dating advice, it has nothing to do with me, honestly. It has nothing to do with my attractiveness, where I land on the scale. I'm just reporting. I'm just telling you the rules.
What you have observed.
Yes.
May I ask something? Sorry, because I got into a relationship 10 years ago and I found my person. I wasn't in...
Blessings.
And I don't know if it's we all in a similar generation, but I don't know if it's generational in terms of the dating pool.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the same 10 years ago as what you guys what you guys are talking about right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
We weren't buying bottles back 10 years ago.
No.
We weren't in
How
that
old are you?
world. I'm like 37. I'm in that age.
Yeah.
So when I was in my 20s, we weren't buying bottles, bro. We weren't, and there was not, the BBL thing wasn't a thing back then. Blessed culture wasn't really a thing.
It was, but it wasn't as prominent as it is right now.
Shameful to be like a sugar daddy. So I don't know this dating pool, and I've always told my wife, if you leave me now, I don't know if I'd be able to function in this dating pool. Because I never had these problems. And what you're talking about, I have been, I got to be careful with my words, but I've been with women, even at that age, that were what you would probably, and I hate this term, like high-value women, and I was nowhere close to that. And I actually took myself out of a relationship because the person I was with was living a lifestyle where they were going to Greece every Tuesday.
Were you famous?
You know how many men have done that?
At all.
Okay.
Nothing.
You know how many men have done that? I've done that. I'm sure maybe you have done that, where you've talked yourself out of being with this woman because you know you can't.
Like, what am I doing here?
Like, damn, I can't even do this to her.
Bro.
Like, I can't do this to her. So many men do that.
Bro,
That's crazy
when I went to her and I said, yo, I can't be with you, she's like, why? I was like, you live a life that is not...
I can't even...
And she's like, why is that a problem? And then I said to her, like, yo, I just don't feel right. And I realized that was more about me than it was about her.
It is more about us,
And then, what she said to me? She's like, do you think that's why I'll always be lonely? And when she said that hit me so hard. I was like, yo.
Hey, yo, she said that to you?
Yeah, because, she didn't care for those things. And even now, I still know good friends till now, and she still doesn't... I've seen she doesn't care.
She dates who she wants to date.
And this is somebody I think if, we would all consider this what you would phrase a high-value person. And I was nothing.
What's a high-value woman to you?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
she said Miss South Africa.
Yeah, I'm using that as the metric. I don't know what that means.
For me, it's different. It's not necessarily like what you do. I mean, that is a bit mixed in there. But for me, I think someone that's high value depends on you, yourself, what you value.
Word.
At the top of my values is a kind-hearted person, a God-fearing woman, a woman that's going to bring me calm and peace over stress, someone that communicates well. Those are the things that I value.
And I think most guys also have that, to be honest.
I don't care about your money, or I might care about where you work. If I don't like where you work, I might help you try and do something else. I might help you open a business and help you try and, level up in that way. But for me, the values is not in whether you drive a car, whether you have a job currently even, as long as I'm attracted to you and you have the values of what I think could last me the rest of my life, then you have value to me.
That's because you're a man. That's because you're a man. Do you think women care about whether you have a job or not? Whether you have a house
some women don't.
Hold on. When we say women, when we say men,
that's what I'm saying. Some. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? For me, it exhausts me when we're discussing something and I need to put out a disclaimer that when I say men, I'm saying majority. Of course, not all full bleed.
We're not all the same.
Thank you for making that disclaimer. Now we know. Going forward, we know. Okay, all right.
That's an important disclaimer to me. I think I know it might be annoying. No. I'll give you an example. Sorry to bring this up too early, but when you say men are trash, like that term, you understand who it's angled at. But you still need to whoa, I'm a man.
I'm a man.
So I do think distinguishing between groups of people, and even the attractive. You're talking about a guy who won't be into a woman with 2 kids. I mean,
there's some guys who have 2
not
kids
even some guys. I know a lot of guys who are with kids, and then there's a lot of dudes that I know have no interest in being with some 22-year-old kid from varsity. So you know what I mean? It's like it's such a. I think distinguishing is an important tool to what you're doing. Maybe.
So then, when I speak and the populations I speak of, I'm speaking of an active dating pool.
Cool.
As a dating coach and a matchmaker, I'm speaking about single people. Sure. I'm not speaking about the guy that you know who's in a relationship with the baby mama whatsoever. I'm speaking about the men who are able to pay me for my high-ticket services, very expensive, who are willing to... I don't like to talk about the numbers.
Well, that's what
But he had to ask.
Yeah, real about that.
I need your reaction. I need your services, by the way, so we'll talk.
I'm talking about a man who says, I don't have the time to go on a dating app. I don't have the time to go approaching women. But I was on your page. I like your values and how you think, and I want you to find me the type of woman you're talking about. Wow. A feminine, fit, and friendly type of woman. And how much will your time cost me?
To find that woman.
Yes. And how long is it? It may take me 3 months, but of course. Like,
how do you go about finding these people?
They're asking you to find a woman for them?
It's a matchmaker. I'm a matchmaker. It means that he is skipping. Yeah. It means that he's skipping taking 10 women out on dates just to land on the one. And then he wants me to use my expertise to just get to the one for him. And then send him on 3 different dates with those ones instead of going through 30 women and finding 3. He wants me to find the 3 for him.
I love so you see, if you don't want to be polyamorous, just pay Nonnie. Do the dating for you. She'll date multiple people for you and find you that one. You know, otherwise, if you don't have the money,
interesting.
So then, for me, I'm looking at those men. I'm looking at the men who come onto my live sessions, what they're able to say publicly. I look at the other men that endorse these men, and then I come to my conclusion.
Wow.
Then I come to my conclusion, and I'm like, okay, men who are actively on the dating scene are just not preferring women with,
according to what you've surmised from the research that you've done.
But I mean, listen, I think that's an easy one. That one makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? But what is one thing that a lot of people might not really know that men are not about, that they might like easily skip over? Because it's easy to say, okay, men might not want to date a woman with kids, because there's women that might not want to date a man with kids. That's an easy one. But what's a hard one?
One
that
of the
people
real
kind
ones.
of like, one of the real ones.
You know what? For the longest amount of time, women have chosen men on their ability to provide, right? Fine. Then women were evaluated on their feminine, like be feminine, fit, and friendly. And then this new age came where women began to work, then they accumulated cars, careers, houses, and then now they begin to evaluate themselves how they evaluate a man. And then they are telling men, look at me, I'm so attractive, I have this career, I have this house, I have this car, rate me on this. And that's good in life. It's good to be a responsible woman who's able to contribute, because it's a 2-income household economy. It's good to contribute. But men are just not budging.
But
men are not budging.
Our scale is different, right?
If he has to choose between a beautiful submissive cashier and a boss bitch who's dominating, he's definitely picking the other one. Yeah.
But what is submissive? Right? I have a thing.
Yeah.
I have a thing with this word submissive, because
I get what you're saying, though.
I hear like, you know, some days I hear, some days I don't hear. Some days, depending on who's using it and how they're using it, you know,
it changes.
You know what I mean? Like even in the biblical, you know, context, it's like there's a lot of things that the Bible says that I'm like, you know what I mean? So it depends. So when you say submissive, what is submissive?
To what as well?
So I'm not religious.
Me too, yeah.
I'll start there.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think the reason a lot of women don't like the chat of being submissive is because to them it sounds subservient. You should not be a slave. You should not bow down to everything a man says. No, you're not being asked to do that. But you're being asked to be the CEO to the board. It's like the man has this long-term vision for the home. It's like we're staying in the city right now, but like 15 years to come, we'll have a house by the farms. We'll have a whole farm business. Like this is where we're going. And as a woman, are you willing to now change the direction of your life to align with his? Now you shouldn't force yourself to do this, of course.
Team player.
As a woman, it's your duty to vet the type of man to submit to. Guys, submitting will feel natural if you choose the right one to submit to. I swear to you.
I'd like to just like try to figure that out.
And it's like, let's say we are husband and wife. I can buy this couch without you contributing to it. You come back and I've already bought the couch. That's not submitting.
Yeah.
Telling you and like babying you as if your opinion matters. That's me. So
That's
like it's
interesting term.
Yeah, it's
so dope.
Yeah. I'm with Teko here on the terminology of the word submission is interesting. What you're telling me is like we as a couple have a plan together. And are you saying they're submitting to the plan that we have as a relationship or to the other individual? Because those are two different things.
She's submitting to the plan, but the driver of the plan is the man.
I think it depends. You
know what?
That's interesting.
I understand that I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah, I get you.
That's why I asked for you to be here. This is it.
And I understand that if I say the man is the head of the house and the woman is the neck, not everyone's going to agree with me with that.
Or understand it.
Yeah.
Or
because
understand
also some men want to be led by a woman.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but
that's true.
I'm not money. I'm not oxygen. I'm not going to be liked by everyone. Not everyone's going to agree with me. But like I said, what I said. Also.
Yeah, that's what your belief is. Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you, right?
Okay.
And then I also see where he's coming from. I agree with you in the sense that if you are the type of man with a plan and you meet a woman along the way that she might not necessarily have a plan. She's just living life, working a 9 to 5, doing what she's doing to survive. But you have a plan. And like she said, now I'm telling you that in 10 to 15 years, we're going to have a house on a farm and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I don't expect you to make my life difficult when I'm the one with the plan and I'm making it happen.
To the plan.
You get what I'm saying?
I feel you.
But in your case, what happens when you have two people that have plans? Then you submit to each other. You talk about what your plans are. You talk about what the goal is, and then you execute that goal. You get what I'm saying?
Otherwise, you're just not compatible.
Yeah. Otherwise, then you're not compatible.
We'll find someone with the plan.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's why I like the term. For me, and again, I felt like we're just having an organic conversation.
I'm enjoying this conversation.
I don't mind.
But
I've got no issues.
Feel free to argue.
No, so for me, it's like the idea of submitting to a plan rather than a person. And I'll tell you why. If we're going to use the word submission, I think it cannot be to another being.
Okay.
I think we come here as sort of, we're born into this world, regardless of whether it's your parents. And I mean this not just from, I'm talking about to your parents, whatever. We come here independent beings, right? And if you've had a child, you know that like the personality comes ready-made. The kid comes as they are. So the idea of submitting to another human being, I have conflict with. And even though we do that in our day-to-day lives, whether it's government or law, but even with that, we're not, I'm not submitting to a police officer. I'm submitting to the law, the idea, the plan. So and I'll tell you why. Like, I hear what you're saying, and why a plan is important is that once we understand the plan, we understand each other's roles in the plan. I'll give an example.
The neck, women are the neck.
The neck,
And
so hear me out. So for example, let's say Teko, you meet a woman, and then maybe you have all the talent in the world. You can produce hit records, right? If I introduce you to a hun who can organize your life, who can give you a structured plan, who knows how to, take your ability and make you a multi-cajillionaire and says, if you listen to me, like this is, let's say her name is Liolo. And Liolo is really good at structure, putting a plan together. Like, if you listen to me and you trust me with your talent, I can make sure that we are like Michael Jackson level. And that person can pull that through. You're not submitting to her. You're submitting to the plan, and that's kind of what
I agree. And Nonnie, do you agree? You're submitting to the plan, not necessarily the individual.
I hear everything he said, but it is very important when you're listening to Coach Nonnie to remember that Coach Nonnie is not talking about life. She's talking about like in a relationship point of view. A woman to her core who wants to feel secure in her man. How can you feel secure in someone that you don't trust? You have to trust him. You have to feel secure physically, emotionally, psychologically. So then how can someone make you feel secure if you don't submit to him? If you think about it, everyone who's made us feel secure in our lives, we've had to submit to them. Our parents, our fathers, our lecturers, our bosses. To feel secure that you're safe with someone, you have to understand what rules do they have for me? How do I impress this person? So it's as simple as if your man does not want you to wear short skirts, then don't wear them. That's submission. You are not being oppressed. Now, if you want to wear a short dress and this man is telling you not to, maybe you chose the wrong man then.
Yeah.
You can't walk around and say men are toxic, men are wrong.
I do agree
Maybe
with
you
that.
just chose the wrong one.
I hear you.
I do agree with that. But anyway, before we get into the more juicier shit, I've been looking at these shots, and B was actually a bad co-host because this guy
put
didn't
some water in there.
wait, this guy didn't tell you that it's my birthday today. We spoke about it off camera, but he was supposed to say, "Hey,
Happy birthday, Beyonce!
You know what I mean?
Beyonce.
So I'm gonna take my shots. Do you drink?
No,
you
no,
don't.
I don't.
So me and Nonnie are gonna
I'm gonna
take these
take a
shots.
shot.
Yeah, I take two.
Take a shot of water.
Yes.
Yeah, some shots.
B
of
wants to
water.
take a
It's
shot
actually
of
bad
water.
luck though, but it's
Come on.
fine.
Yes,
It's
it's
bad
bad
luck.
luck.
It's bad luck.
take shots of water.
It's too late. Happy birthday to myself.
Happy
Thank you for
birthday.
Live long and prosper. Live long and prosper.
Come and celebrate at Propaganda
On the 23rd.
Saturday, tomorrow. If you're watching this live, then it's tomorrow, 23rd of May. Propaganda, the birthday bash. Tickets on CompuTicket right now. Anyway,
I got a question about what you were still saying.
yeah.
I was just kind of observing and listening
Yeah.
to you. How much of the dating pool do you attribute to how people are raised?
Sorry?
How much of the choices that a person
Yeah.
would make, you spoke about submissive and whatnot,
yeah.
how much do you attribute that to?
their upbringing.
Yeah.
I understand your question now. I like when my brother here said that when he was in his, like he's married now, but when
Yeah.
he was in his date, like he feels like this scene looks different right now. And I want to bring it back to how we were raised. Number one, a lot of people who are raised before this age of reality shows and social media have higher success rates, the higher,
And just more
higher
intelligence.
divorce rates because
Wow.
men are not being compared to other men.
Wow.
Women are fine with what's being done for them. And then you find that in this age, my man brings me a bouquet of flowers and I'm on IG and I'm like,
Swipe culture.
but then she got this. So then how you are raised plays a huge role in how you participate in the dating scene.
Yeah, that is so true. I could imagine what I would have felt like 10 years old with Instagram, seeing everyone else with a PS5, and I didn't have it. Versus not being on social media when I was 10, not having that PS, and my mom just saying, "Hey, dog, we don't have the money, nigga. Just go play at your friend's house
Maybe
or
you have
something."
like
right?
you have like cards.
I can only imagine how I would have felt now.
Exactly,
Like being
right.
10 years old now, being able to swipe and see like all the kids with their PS5 and then how depressed that shit would make me.
Tabo, would you say that comparison leads to you not being grateful for what you do have?
Yes, in a sense, yes.
You know the
100%.
quote.
Comparison
Yes,
is the killer of
100%.
joy.
Joy,
Yes,
you know the
100%,
quote, man.
yes.
Yeah, for real.
And I mean, I know you said you're not religious, but I feel like, you know, I would rather believe in God and die and find out there's no God than
Hallelujah.
to do the opposite
Hallelujah.
and to live and not believe there's a God
Baptized to a cult.
and then find
Do
out,
it.
right?
Yeah.
And then I also feel like the life that I live because I believe in God makes my life healthier.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just the fact that I believe in God and I like have a standard or a set of guidelines, so to speak.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes my life a little bit healthier. You know what I mean? So I think that also like in what you believe in or what your parents teach you to believe in has a big part to play in.
So that you see, so now a woman who will be submitting to you will understand that as much as she's submitting to you, you are submitting to God.
system,
So then God is the plan. So then she needs to be a godly woman, and she needs to be giving and forgiving and understanding and whatever. You see, so yeah.
Interesting.
This conversation is so refreshing. Whenever I'm scrolling, watching lives, hey, it's always bashing men, eh?
Right?
Yo, it's always
And
just like
for me it's the woman is responsible for vetting a man before accepting her.
yes.
You can't complain when you are being criticized for having 3 different babies by 3 different baby daddies, and then you say that all of them are trash. But who chose them? And men are the gatekeepers of relationships and marriage. Women are the gatekeepers of sex. A woman decides if sex is going to happen or not. And then a man decides if a relationship or marriage will come from this. So it's like, yeah, men are trash, but is it the ones you chose? Is it the ones you chose?
Word.
Yeah. So,
I came across a status on WhatsApp and it said something about women want attention and they're willing to give sex for it. Men want sex and they're willing to give attention for it.
Yeah.
Do you agree with this?
I do agree with that. I do agree with that because a attention for women is the taste. It's like when you go to an ice cream shop, before buying the flavor, sometimes they can give you a scoop. So then a woman who wants to feel secure that you'll be committed to her and you won't look at other women, when you give her attention as opposed to you're giving her a taste of how it feels to be secure. And then the propaganda that was sold to men about marriage and a long-term relationship, and some men like this, is that you have an infinite access to sex.
Wow.
Of which, that's why some women are bad wives today, because they don't sleep with their husbands.
Damn.
But I don't know if that's the topic for today. But that's the idea.
That's a wild thing to say.
That's the idea. No.
Yeah.
I deal with so many men that are not getting sex from their women.
From their wives.
Women, wives, same difference. If you guys are living in the same house and you guys have been together for like, okay, number one, if you start a job, you'll be put on like a 6 months probation. If you guys have been exclusive for more than 6 months, we can assume you guys are in a relationship.
Okay, yeah, I get
So
you.
then men were sold this idea that marriage gives you an infinite amount of sex.
Infinitely, yeah.
Yeah, that you get home and then you get it. And then some men are starving.
That's true.
Yeah.
You wanna grab the
Yeah.
wanna grab the mic?
No, he wants us to move on.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to hear your perspective, because clearly you are married, right? You've been married.
He was married. Nonnie is married.
No.
He's been married. He's married.
And you clearly
Get the mic, bro.
No.
what Nonnie's saying.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious about like your perspective, like is the decision as a man, or because you guys are all men, so you guys can actually either say yes, she's right, or say no, you are wrong. There's actually more.
Yeah, there's different perspectives here. Yeah,
Aware.
I hear you.
Okay, cool.
Take a tea.
Oh, okay. Look, I understand the within a relationship we have a social contract, right? That we will engage in sex, but this idea of being entitled to an infinite amount of sex is, I strongly disagree with that.
Yeah.
In the same way, even if it was to me, my wife would not be entitled to anything to me infinitely. I have to, and I know I'm using this word now, but you know, I have to consent to it. I have to want to be involved in it. Now, you don't know what's going on with me. I don't know what's going on with you.
Yeah.
I'm not entitled to anything.
Yeah.
Now, if you feel like it's an enough reason for us to leave the relationship because I'm not, that's absolutely. If you're like, oh, my lady ain't, I need sex. You don't want to give it to me. I'm like, okay, I want to leave. The idea that you're entitled to anybody's anything is a huge problem for me. That is a line I have to draw really hard in the sand. And by the way, anything physical. Now, if you're talking about like, this would be the same to say like, if a bunch of criminals come into the house, you always gotta put your life on the line in front of them. Now, in reality, that's what you're expecting.
You don't think so?
No, but listen, hear what I'm saying is,
I'm so happy you brought that point up.
Because
a good one. When you're done speaking, I'll make an example straight.
No, and I'm bringing this example intentionally to say like, you and I can acknowledge that a man and a woman, we can say like, no, you should have sex with each other. I'm saying we can acknowledge that is the reality of this contract we're making. To enforce it and say you're entitled to it is a different conversation.
Altogether,
right?
The
Same to say that a man must be there to protect his wife and stand in front of danger and risk his life there. We can say that's the contract we're getting into. But to say, force someone to like put their lives in front of them is a ridiculous.
Especially if the girl proposed it now. She's the one.
You should.
No, I agree with you. And I believe in it, but I just don't think you can enforce that. And I think that's dangerous.
The thing with unwritten, unspoken emotional contracts and understanding is that they can't be enforced and they never discussed, and they sound ugly when they're discussed verbally. A man is the protector of the home.
I agree.
And if there's a noise outside and a woman grabs a gun, points at her husband.
That's crazy.
You go.
I agree with you.
Okay, but like realistically,
I agree with you.
how would she enforce the man to how would she force the man to protect them? Points a gun at him and say, "Go protect us."
Can we change that? I want to play devil's advocate.
Little land.
I want to add context.
So my point is, with unspoken, unexpressed emotional contracts is that the idea is that you're supposed to volunteer your parts of the contract.
Okay.
So then a man is the provider, but he's always supposed to volunteer the protection to the home because no one's going to hold a knife to his neck and say, protect
doing
us.
this, yes.
You know, it's the same with a woman. You need to volunteer that sex. You need to let out coochie to your man. No one's forcing you because they can't force you, but it's an unwritten verbal emotional contract.
So
You
I just
have
want to say,
to
the
volunteer.
word entitle and volunteer is where,
Very different,
is where we are now.
Yes.
Yes, that's the only thing. Everything
Yeah.
else I agree with you. It's just that
Yeah.
the moment you say entitled, you remove the word volunteer.
But also, it's a contract. It's like your wife is allowed to not have sex with you if she's mad, but you're not allowed to not protect her when you're mad. There is
You're
an
allowed to
imbalance.
protect her if you're mad. You're allowed. No one's going to stop. No
You're allowed to do
one can
anything you want to
force her.
do. I get
Is
what
it
you're
cool?
saying.
No. Is it like right? No.
Okay,
but
you see
you're
now
allowed
we're
to.
landing. Why is it so taboo for me to say that it's uncool for a woman to not give her man sex? But then it's acceptable for us to say that it's uncool for a man. It's like we're saying the wife has a duty to give her man an infinite amount of intimacy, and the husband has a duty to give his wife an infinite amount of protection. And then we are open and comfortable to say unfair of him to have failed in this instance to provide his side of the contract, which is protection. But when we say it's very unfair of her to not fulfill her side of the contract, the whole room goes sour. Let's be fair, guys.
No, I think maybe you misunderstand me. I agree with you. My problem was you're using the word entitled.
Okay.
Is the word that rubbed him wrong, but I get you.
You know, I'm with you.
For some people, words mean a lot.
Yeah.
And
They
for
do.
people like me and you, I think we're very blunt.
Yeah.
And words for me is like, dog, are you
It's the
serious?
intention behind it.
But to
Yeah.
say you're entitled to someone's sex is crazy.
Yeah,
talk.
but she
Yeah,
means
but I understand
she
what you
means
mean.
it in the
That's
sense of a
clarity.
contract because you guys, she was speaking in the terms of a contract. So in a contract, it says you are entitled to X and Y and Z, right?
Sure.
But no one's gonna force
Can you
you. If
enforce
you
it?
default,
No, you can't.
Okay,
No, you
fair
can't.
enough.
If
Fair
you
play.
default,
Fair play.
then we can break the
Expect
contract
it
is
to be volunteer.
broken,
Yeah.
right?
I'm with
So
it.
in the
Cool.
contract language, it says I'm entitled to X, Y, and
these
Z, but
rights.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna hold a
I
gun to
can't
him.
enforce it.
Fair play.
You get what I'm
Then
saying?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I
Yeah,
think we've reached a good middle ground. So it's like you are entitled to something, but you can't enforce it.
Enough said.
Never
But
feel
it's
like
okay
you are
if we
forced.
shame you for not fulfilling it the same way we shame men for not protecting his woman.
That don't mind. Hey man, I
Yeah.
believe in body shaming too, so I don't mind shame.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't mind. Shame is not a bad thing. I don't think
use
shame
it,
is a
yeah.
bad thing.
Yeah.
Shame
That's
is an
where you-
important part
So I
of
wanted to
society.
ask a question.
Yeah.
In a situation, I've seen this happen, a couple of my brews also,
Yeah.
where if you now put you with a girl who's just aggressive and violent in general, something that can be de-escalated, you're in a club and somebody says something or whatever, and she pushes the envelope for you now to have to step in
that's a great
and protect
conversation.
her. That's why I wanted to ask when you say the woman can't force you, but I was like, there are those situations where she kind of like locks. Wait, let her answer. I wanna hear her perspective. Where she kind of pushes you to have to be where you're like, no, calm down, chill. It's you're trying to de-escalate it, and she's like, my man will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That happened in real life as well. Someone
does.
Honestly,
It really does.
I see no problem in physically apprehending a woman from physically causing harm on another human being, whether it's another man or not. Pull her out of it, yank her out of it. Like, why is she beating up people? Put her out of it. Like,
Why is she talking crazy?
Like, why is she talking
Pull her out
crazy?
of it.
I see no problem in you yanking your woman by the arm if it means that she will physically harm another human being. Yeah. It's a no-brainer, yeah.
So if a guy walks away from the whole situation because of what she's doing, it's fine.
Walk
You're not
away.
entitled
Like,
to helping her.
also, I mean, guys, at the end of the day, it all starts in vetting. Why are you with the woman who acts
gonna do that,
crazy?
yes, it's
I
true.
get
That's
shocked.
true.
I get shocked
Yes,
when
yeah,
men
it is
are with these women who wanna burst tires,
Yes.
break windows.
Yes.
Why are you with this
It's that
lunatic
nanny.
woman?
It's that nanny.
Nonnie's a real nigga, dog. I like you. You're a real nigga, dog.
Yeah,
like
for
you know,
real.
in that situation, I don't think any real nigga will fault you for doing what you have to do when you're dealing with a crazy girl.
Yeah.
Like if you feel like this person is gonna get me killed, bro.
Yeah.
Like actually,
I need to
Yeah.
get
like
out
I
of
need
this.
to be smart
No,
and
be
now
out.
like you
No,
know
I'm with
I'm
it
not
too.
for this. You know.
Fighting is actually barbaric. I
Yeah.
don't blame you as a man as seeing physical fighting as the last cause.
Resort,
Yeah,
It should
Yeah.
be the last.
It
Last
should be the
resort.
last, not because you're trying to prove anything.
Yeah.
It's because now I have no choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you are the person that's escalating it to the point where now we have no choice. There's a problem. Now you're putting my life in danger. You're putting your life in danger. It's a fucking problem, you know? But anyway, listen, on that point, right? You know, I feel like now we're on the sex and I don't know how to segue it, but I feel like we there now.
We're there now.
You know, one of the stories this week, and I think you've all heard of it, of what's her name? Nirvana, ne? And a good friend of yours, Bonko, ne? Bonko. Yes. Please roll the clip, man.
Thank you.
Is it illegal to say that I no longer believe in feminism because a local media and entertainment company was filming and broadcasting sexual violence to the public and it needs to end? I know this because I was on a set about a story based on a book of the serial murders of South African women written by a black woman, and when I was violated on that set by a co-star who got carried away in a non-graphic violence scene implying sexual content that was discussed and approved weeks prior, the male directors and producer said they would deal and remedy the situation appropriately, and those attempts were completely thwarted by women, black and white women who were in executive positions. Women who were also co-founder and member of a body formed to advocate for and end sexual harassment in the film and television industry. And I just want to find out, is that illegal to say? Is it illegal to say? Because if it is, please tell me. I need to know if it's illegal to say so that I don't say it. Guys, is it?
It was a fast forwarded.
Was that fast forwarded or was that the original speed?
Damn.
Oh, what?
Whoa. Times 2 speed.
But like also it's like Gen Z era because like the attention span is like short. So like someone has to speak like really fast. To make sure.
I think that's just how she is. The previous video, I think it's like 15 minutes where she's interacting with the police officer.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's just how she speaks.
I mean, you guys are in the film industry, right?
Yeah.
Is this a big thing in your industry right now? Like, is this huge? Is this like what everyone's talking about? Is it
Want to take it?
No, you hit it. I just want to have full disclosure. Like, I know both these people
Yes,
very
he
well
knows.
for
He
a
knows
very
them.
long time.
He knows them too.
Yeah.
I want to speak from an ignorance point of view first.
Okay, I like
That's
to see.
very
I like the
From me.
ignorant shit.
Like I'm very ignorant about acting and on set and what happens, but are we not pretending to be these types of people and then just to make sure that other people don't get carried away in the name of pretending? Do we not have coordinators, parameters and contracts in place to make sure? And then as long as the performance is within those parameters, nothing wrong has been done. Like, again, I'm not speaking as an expert or
Like you don't
an
know.
authority
Tell me,
figure.
yeah.
I'm being very ignorant in this. But like, if you slapped me too hard in a scene, like, can I still blame you and still, yeah.
Yeah. I'll share something that I've experienced.
Yeah.
Right. So I've been on a show before where we were still rehearsing. The whole team, the tech team was there. And the actor asked me first, is it okay if I slap you? I said, we'll see. We'll still decide. Let's first run down and block and whatnot, right? As we're blocking, we're rehearsing. The cameras are not even on. I'm doing my lines. Next thing I know, wah! Sounder. Like, you understand? Like, my ear was ringing. Why are you laughing so hard? This guy's enjoying this. You know, so, oh, shit. In that case, we're playing together. You know, you have your experience in life, I have my experience. We're bringing it together. We're adding to this meal that people are going to consume, right? Although we're still rehearsing, and he did ask, that does cross the line for me because it's not what we agreed on. You know, I understand what you're asking, so I won't talk about this in particular yet. I think we're going to dive a little deeper. But my experience in that, I was really upset. The guy had to apologize a couple times. I got pulled to the side, but I showed my that I was hurt by this. Not just here, but everybody started laughing on set. You know, like as soon as it happened, wow, the cameraman dropped the camera and laughing. And I was like, not only is it physically, but also the fact that now, like, type of thing, that also kind of, so there's layers to it is what I've experienced in that case.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
You
Just
may.
before we get, can I ask you a question about that? In that case, then, what would you like to happen? And what do you think should happen in that instance when someone crosses your boundary?
Yeah, for
What's
me,
sufficient enough?
For me, bro, I don't lie. You can't take it back. You can't take it back. It's happened. It's happened, right? I don't know if it's like a manly thing or you just have to move on. The fact that he's acknowledged it, and he's apologized. He can't take the slap back. It happened. And he did ask. Maybe he misunderstood what I was saying to him, and I said, we'll talk about it because we still maybe there's some way miscommunication happened, right? But initially I was really upset and I took it really personally, you know, because it felt like there's a lot of layers also, you know, when you're not in the room and then you step into the room and someone stops talking, you're like, oh, so these people don't like me. Your brain starts playing tricks on you.
What if it happened on camera now?
And it got put on the show.
No, because
it gets put on
because the example that we're talking about sounds like it happened on camera with people watching while the tapes were rolling, and it sounds like they were able to roll back the tapes and like really zoom in and try to see what if what you're describing, where someone asked for permission to slap you, then you said, I'm not sure if you can slap me or not, and then now it's on camera and now they're in the character. It's not a rehearsal anymore. Now we're in the scene. They are this person, then they slap you.
But that's the thing. We have to rehearse first. If you do something out of what we rehearsed, that's where the problem starts.
Okay, so it would never be that.
You're rehearsing
it would
in character.
Never be that.
You know, you might bump it up a bit, but you've seen how far you can push it to. We have a good understanding of don't go here. You know what I mean? If we've rehearsed. But in rehearsal, once you cross that line, maybe for me, it's still kind of like the same.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts?
Look, I think I'll speak on that, and even your example that you're bringing up on a fight scene, right? So, and this is why you cannot use a blanket statement for any situation. Each situation will have its own nuance, and it's actually my biggest problem with the whole discourse from both sides is that they don't know the nuance. We weren't there on set. And I'll tell you why nuance is critical for something like this. It's to your point, right? Intent is one of the most key factors in any crime, right? So, for example, what you said, the guy hit you, and then you probably have a good case for assault, to be honest with you. You really do. You could probably put him into assault because you didn't agree to that and he hit you. Now, the question is, if you and I are actors and we're doing a fight scene together, there is, and it comes to something we were talking about earlier on, an implied risk. Right? That we're doing a choreographed fight scene, there's an implied risk that I might swing and accidentally hit you. Right? That's an implied risk of something like a fight scene. Right? Now, if I hit you within the parameter and I apologize, right? Then I don't think you have a case of assault. However, now I'm going to bring where nuance would come in. If you and I had a fight that day, earlier on,
you know what
I mean? All of a sudden, the nuance changes. If you said, you was like, all right, cool. And then I hit you, and you're like, I think you did that on purpose. All of a sudden, that conversation requires a lot more nuance, investigating, understanding. And I think even with this matter, it doesn't mean you're wrong, doesn't mean I'm wrong. And maybe we did have a fight, and I accidentally did hit you. But you have good cause to think it could be intentional. And I think that is why it is so dangerous to say this person's wrong, this person's right. And even in the discourse, I realized, even with the grand discourse of this matter, it's got nothing to do with these two people. It is the matters that plague our country. You know, it is the matter of a disenfranchised group of people, you know, who feel like that they haven't been seen or slighted, versus another group of people who may also feel disenfranchised in some sense, you know, and feel like they've been, a certain element of society has been weaponized against them. And because the overall conversation with society has actually got very little to do with these people, but they're used as the cannon fodder, and their conversation is used that I think that it is destroying, sadly, both lives. You know, for us to be able to have a conversation, we should be having on a national dialogue regardless. We found a vehicle to do that with. And hence, even in this conversation, for me, it's not important that it's these two people. We actually have a conversation to be had.
100%.
So that's
I think it's important what you said, you know, it's about the intent, right? And I think, like, it's with any crime, like you said, and especially like with gun crimes, especially, or just cases involving the discharge of a weapon or someone getting shot, it always goes back to what was the intent. Were you protecting yourself, or did you tell him fuck you earlier?
We don't know.
And now we have to figure out the intent, right? But now in a situation like this, how do we figure out the intent of the person that you're saying did this thing to you, slapped you across your face? In this case, this male actor did something to you while this thing is being recorded in front of everyone without you giving that consent, but we also don't know what his intent was. So how do we...
we also don't know the female's intent.
Might be.
We don't know the full documented history of their interaction between them.
Yes, did they have arguments? Did they have,
I think that you can't be faulted to now think like a judge. ask for proof, ask for witnesses, ask for contracts, what was not allowed, what was allowed. What is the definition of thrusting? So it's like
it goes that deep.
It's like when we don't have context. Now you must think like a judge and say, okay,
I never thought of like, hey, what's thrusting? I never thought about that.
These are valid things.
These are valid. No, these are valid.
Oh, the whole film crew was there? Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any of them that can provide an affidavit that says they think what was done went overboard?
Yeah.
Oh, none? Okay. Do we have tapes? What is on tape? Oh, two fully clothed actors?
Yeah.
Okay. What does our constitution say? Is thrusting even wrong?
Yeah.
Is it even wrong? And what does the law say should be done when one person thrusts another person without consent? So when you don't have full context, you just need to think like a judge, be objective, and ask those questions.
And also, I'd like to add, if that guy had history of slapping people on sets, I would definitely think that was intentional. If he has done something like that before. Or if he swung at me, missed me, and I said he hit me, and I've done that many times before, that also adds to the
it does.
POV of
Because
judge
again,
mindset.
in courts, you have character witnesses that come and speak on your character as how they know you as part of, is it intentional or like, we don't know this guy. This guy's never done this before.
Yeah.
So I have no reason to not believe him when he says he was just in character, if that's what he's saying. I have no reason to not believe that he was actually in character, and he does understand that he crossed the boundary. I don't know. What is
I read Bonko's statement that he released on his official page. He said that he's heard of other instances where the lady has accused of other people of similar cases. And then I don't remember anyone saying that Bonko has a history of doing similar things to other people. So as much as you guys want to consider history and what the other person has done, history looks like she's accused other people, but he's never thrusted or done other stuff to other people.
I need to interject there.
I can pull up the statement.
No.
Wait,
Let's hear what he's going to say.
I have read the statement. All right, but that's Bonko's perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Bonko's
POV.
Yeah, let's remember that it says,
with regards to Nirvana's POV, like after that, she did post saying, if there are people that I have accused, name them.
Let them come
Okay,
out.
can I land on this? Can I land on this specifically?
So it's just a POV. It's not actual evidence. It's
At the end of the day,
it's not actual evidence. It's what he's saying.
In Joburg issue, I think the most important thing is to look each case on its own merits, and this is why I say none of us are qualified to speak.
We're not.
Like, do you understand? What I love what you said right now is, we'd have to sit through a legal perspective.
Judge.
We need a lawyer to understand. Okay, what is the definition of this? And then also, when it's happening, there's so much nuance happening there. We as the public, never mind we as the public, we as even industry professionals who were not there, who were not these people, have absolutely
zero.
Because as much as we can say, we actually don't know if there was. You don't know what she was thinking. You don't know what he was thinking. We have absolutely zero idea. We are having this conversation through these people. We do not have the nuance, and they have. It sounds like they've exhausted sort of methods of being able to get to a conclusion to this thing. And again, we also have to acknowledge that our systems are not always effective. But again, because we do not have nuance, because we do not have the legal matters. This is not a cut and dry matter. It would be very different if this was somebody came into somebody's room when it wasn't time. That's different, right?
That's true,
Or like an actual nude scene and
it's different.
like someone else.
I think let's have the real conversation.
Yeah, but what is? Can I ask for myself? Like, what is Bonko saying? Bonko saying about the thrust? Is he saying it happened, or is he saying it didn't happen?
In the statement, he doesn't say it happened or it did. But she said that he admitted to it. That's what she said.
But we don't know if
we don't know.
Admitted to
There's
it.
different POVs, like he said.
The thing for admission to be admitted as evidence is that it needs witnesses or it needs to be documented.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This is such a deep matter.
I like how he said, the conversation is really about a bigger issue, and it's that there's this microculture of some people accusing some people of doing something to punish them. And then there's also some people on doing some things and then they get away with it because there's not enough evidence against them. That's the bigger topic here happening.
That's the real
It's like-
conversation.
It's like, who's really guilty here? Is she accusing him? Or is he getting away with it? And
Yes,
then we're
yeah.
all like, we just don't have enough evidence.
We don't have enough evidence.
to make,
Look, I'd feel some type of way if the guy who was who slapped me, let's say if he missed the slap, right? And then I take him to court or something like that happens. And then he releases a song about if I wanted to hit you or whatever. You know what I mean? I feel some type of way about that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Actually, I want to ask
I'd
something. Do you guys think that this may... Sorry. He's laughing so hard.
Yo, your
I wanna
fucking
ask something.
analogy is
Do
crazy.
you guys think that maybe this is a sensitivity issue? Like, you guys are actors. Let's say you did something that is clearly choreographed. You are told to do it this way. And then the lady, for some reason, goes, you went overboard. Would you have enough sensitivity for that to say, maybe I did?
How do you know? You know, and again, so okay, let me put it like this. I've been in the other version of that where, or to this actress.
Actors are always through things.
No,
Yeah,
this is not. And also,
is.
actually, let me go back. And actually, this is a very important conversation. I actually don't like that people think that this is something that is distinct to our industry. It really makes me unsettled because
No, it's not.
you're
It's not.
belittling the corporate space,
not.
where
It's
insurance
corporate,
happens,
yeah.
medical field. I actually hate the fact that
In fact,
vele industry and it's not accurate.
In
It's
fact,
just
a woman can sexually assault men.
I've experienced that
It
actually.
can go the other way.
No, but not even just the male-female thing. I think we need to I just want to land on this. It's very important for me to just clarify this
land,
thing.
please.
With the entertainment industry is an industry of, and it's not.
Of sex and
You know,
desire.
I live in it. It's a industry full of professionals who have bills to pay. The reality is, whether you're in a hospital, whether you work in government, you will be subjected to these kind of matters. This is a South African issue. It's a world issue. And we need to address it as per. The reason why it seems so dominant is because there are public figures involved, right? And that's why when you see a scandal happening, even with like looting funds, they'll always pick the most famous person, even though that person took the little amount of money. But we must not belittle the experiences and journeys of people who go through this in other industries by saying this is a thing that happens to this specific industry.
But
That's
in
a
those
dangerous
industries,
conversation.
they have systems that are set up to deal with it.
Do you think
go
they're
to
effective?
HR.
I think the people in those
Guys,
industries would tell you
I have a
otherwise. I think the
question.
people in those industries, if they were here, they would tell you otherwise. They
Guys,
would be
I
like,
have
no,
a
we don't.
question. Can we now cancel someone for accusations that, like, there's no proof that he actually did it? Can we now actually cancel Bonko and say, F him, when there's no actual solid evidence?
This
Of
is
thrusting. How do you prove
I would like
thrust,
to enter
guys?
this right now.
Yeah.
Listen, this is why I have a big problem with it being a social media judgment call.
Yeah.
Because there are real tangible consequences that have real financial implications, family implications.
Even mental implications,
Not just
right?
that, but there's legal implications, right? None of us can make any ruling on this.
You want to shut Sorry, carry on.
No. So I was just saying that nobody should make a ruling on something that has these kind of consequences that is outside of the either legal framework, the corporate frameworks that say there's like you talked about HR, right? And you say, people have HR in the corporate space. People will tell you HR sometimes fails them. But until a ruling is made, you can't fire that person. Right? Now they can, and by the way, they do this all the time, even in corporate. They're like, hey, even though you weren't found guilty, we're not renewing your contract.
Yeah, because muddy the waters.
So look, and again, it's like there's evidence, no evidence. I do not think we should be in a position to end someone's life. And by the way, I mean this for both of them.
Yeah.
I mean this for both of them. We cannot make a ruling on these people's lives because we are not judge, jury, and executioner. But now if we want to have a conversation about, guys, this has brought up such an interesting issue about our society. How do we engage about these kind of things?
As far as society is involved, I think that every woman who says that something of this nature, actually, let me just speak plainly and directly. Okay. I think that if a woman comes across and say something sexual has been done to her without her consent, we should believe her. And we should try to find as much evidence to see if she's telling the truth. I mean, innocence until proven guilty. But if we find that the guy is really innocent and this is something premeditated from her side, then she should face the same consequence that he was going to face if he was found guilty.
Wow.
Yeah. But you know what the problem with that is? I agree with you, but there's fault in that because while we believe her, then he's suffering until he's found not guilty, if
Who's
that's the
innocent,
point.
who's guilty.
And then when he's found, or if he's found not guilty, the reputational damage is done. And then to your point, I was going to say that unfortunately, it's 2026 and the society that we live in right now, honestly, it's Big Brother for real.
Yeah.
True say.
Like the right now life is just Big Brother.
Big Brother.
Everyone
Everyone's
has an
watching,
opinion. Everyone has a phone. They can post what they want to. So whether you like it or not, people are gonna form their own opinions. And
But
if
like-
the mass has one opinion, now you're gonna be labeled as that. Even if in the future you get unlabeled that, it's still gonna be that lingering thing, you know?
Guys, the law is very clear. And in a criminal case like this one, someone is innocent until
Till
proven guilty.
100%.
And then guilty means beyond reasonable doubt. If there's shady areas or gray areas, as long as you're not sure, the person is not guilty.
I don't
That's what the
understand you.
law says.
Well,
No.
so you
In
still
a
have
criminal.
criminal.
There's two types of
That's-
cases,
yeah,
civil
and criminal.
criminal.
Yes.
Civil means most likely. So like, it's how we're talking. If he slaps you and then you guys had an argument and he said, I'll show you, and then he slaps you in the scene beyond what the contract says, we can now ignore the natural mistake. It's a now civil case. As the jury, we can say it's most likely that he did it.
Intentionally.
But in a criminal case, it's if you open a case against him, as the person who's opening the case, it's my duty to bring evidence that the person who's innocent has no duty to prove themselves innocent. You, the
You
one who's
are legis-
opening the
you
case,
must-
you
or the
must
one who
prove
brought-
the
okay,
guilt.
now I
What
get it.
happened.
And you must
Yeah, I
prove
get
it
you.
beyond reasonable
Reasonable
doubt.
doubt,
Like
okay.
there should be no questions asked. Good to know he actually did it.
Hence, the natural
that's the
step
law.
from here for the parties would be a civil case.
Yeah.
Right?
Or a criminal one.
No, well, okay.
If she goes and
case.
opens a
Let's
case,
leave it to the court.
So
it would be criminal
yes,
at this
yes,
point.
yes.
They would have to now go fetch him. He would have to go post bail.
From what
like,
I understand,
you know?
that was done.
Yeah,
And
it's 3 years ago.
It was
This happened 3 years ago.
explored.
3 years ago.
This happened 3 years
Wait,
ago.
as
Yeah.
in he was fetched and had to get bail.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
that's
I'm
according
looking
to-
at this differently now.
Yeah, no, so this I actually don't want to get too minutiae. So this is what I was trying to say to you guys is that according to the statement from the production company and everybody, like this has been explored. So there's been an investigation done and it was declared that there was insufficient evidence to prove.
This is 3 years ago.
Yeah. Again, we must also understand that there being insufficient evidence is not proof
There's
of
not-
nothing.
it's not proof
of
done.
nothing. Yeah.
So this is why I'm saying we cannot.
I'm
it's
sorry,
such a
guys.
tricky
If you can
thing.
trust the law to carry you through your daily life, like laws around robots, laws around how policemen can act, laws around elections, laws around the medicine you consume, the education you receive, you can trust the law this time around. too. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
You trust the law every day. Now you don't want to trust the law. Now you don't want to trust the law.
What's that? What's
Omotoso?
What's that?
Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry. First,
What's that?
I'll break down Omotoso. Okay,
That's
hold
a
on.
different
No, hold on.
instance.
Wait. Firstly, and this is not about this man.
In a perfect world.
Yeah,
yes,
in a
but
perfect
no.
world, you're right.
Yeah,
but
no.
dealing with what we have with the Madlanga Commission, where we
Yeah,
see
we've
that there's
seen-
been,
it's in our
you know,
face.
Gaps,
no,
gaps.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
simply cannot rely on that again. And this is why I'm saying we don't know enough about all
don't.
of this.
We really don't.
We
We're not
really
professional.
don't.
We're not
We
professional.
We don't have that
Unfolding.
quality.
You know, but
And we're busy
podcasting
talking
is
about
nice. At
people's
the end of the day,
No. I'm enjoying the conversation. I'm not saying we can't talk about it, but what I'm
We
saying
can
is
talk about it, but
to
we
cast
just
a
need to
final
make sure
judgment
that
on these two
we're
people.
not,
We're doing
we're
this.
not
And that's not what we
qualified.
do here. We do not
Crazy
cast judgment
Yeah.
unless you really feel that way.
is it's great. Now, I think the bigger conversation would be
Yeah.
in that moment, and you know, she said why. I think we have professionals on there to try and mitigate these things, and even when you have those people, it's not possible. There was a moment where there was a stunty allowed to be there, and then the party said, "No, I don't need a stunt," and I think that is where I would say this.
And
I would say this as somebody who owns a production company.
Yeah.
Do not give the artists the power
Final say.
to make a decision like that.
Yeah.
I think you then must say, and I'm again, and I understand the levity and say like, no, we're doing this with a stunt professional. And the first AD and everybody must say, I'm sorry, I actually don't care, which has been done to me.
I read they're also given the rights to cut the scene at any time.
Yes,
From the statement released, it said that both actors were allowed to say cut
At
then
any point.
everything stops immediately.
Yes. And again, I don't want to get into the minutia
Yeah,
of
the
that
details.
because
Yeah.
we don't know the mental state of the
mental
people.
stage. You might have been shocked.
I can get from an administrative
so many
Freeze,
layers.
like with
Yeah.
anything.
Guys,
From an admin perspective,
I
if you have a
really
safety
think
officer,
Let him land. Let him land.
Okay.
Let him land, please. Yeah.
Sorry. No, so from an admin perspective,
Yeah.
right? I think, and this is a lesson to be learned in the future because we can't go
Yes.
back now,
Yes.
right? When you bring someone who is essentially a safety officer, which is a stunty,
Yeah.
they're there for a reason,
Yeah.
right? And it is to protect the parties of there, to not let the artists who are in emotion, in scene do that. No, there's a structural procedure. The first AD and the producers, man, I don't care how you feel.
This
And
is what's happening.
and by the way, I'm a leading man. I'm always saying I want to do my own stunts. I want to go
Leading
jump whatever.
man.
And then you know,
Okay.
and then someone will say to me like, okay, if you get hurt here, all this stops. All these people can't get paid.
Yes.
I don't care how you feel, Mr. Sterink. I'm making a decision here.
This
We're
is
going
what's
to put
happening.
the stunt. This is what's going to happen.
Put your foot down.
I don't care how you feel that you want to be cool. That stunt guy is going to do the stunt for you.
Yes.
And I think that is in the future to say that, listen, we need to be strong. And by the way, we have to give credit that they're allowing the artists to make this decision and giving them the grace. However, I think we need to relook that and say, you know what, actually, forget your grace. And we've respected you enough to respect your opinion that you said you feel like you're good enough. No, not anymore. We're going to stick to the structures that are already in place.
Yes.
We're going to implement them strictly to avoid situations where anyone is harmed when they can. Because a stunty would have been in a position. By the way, not to say a stunty can't be S8, right? But then you're saying like, oh, this scene has this nature.
True,
the stunty
actually.
can then say like, okay, I am comfortable with you doing
Prepared.
this or doing that and
Yes,
doing that.
yes.
And I think that's probably where, from an administrative thing, we can all learn from this going forward.
So do you think now
That's true.
South African productions should like ban those kind of scenes?
No, guys,
Ban.
no, we want to see the sex
Or like
scenes.
really?
We want to see the
You watch
sex
adulting,
scenes.
man?
please.
Yeah, because otherwise BU's career is
Adulting.
done.
Good job.
Hey, you
I
can't
like
say stuff like that, man.
adulting. I really think, like, I really, like, I can remember when Vuyo Dabula and Protest did a scene and the whole country went crazy. And I'm thinking of like Shaka Ilembe and Nomza Mombasa going
wife.
bare breasts.
Yes.
And like, it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, that's why I might disagree with my friend here that I love very much. That what taking the rights away from an actor, like if you are an actor and I am the casting director, I'm like an HR manager, and I'm assuming that you know when your rights are being taken away from you and you understand that you can give consent and stop it at any time. If I tell you you're about to film right now and you can say cuts at any time, yeah, please, you can say cut at any time. It's not my fault that you didn't. At the end of the day, you're a human being. And I feel like actors need to be empowered and actors need to be allowed to do whatever they want and they need to be trusted. They can make decisions motivated by their own reasons. But to answer your question, we need the sex scenes. Because when you're watching a show, you want to feel like the fly in the room. You want to
it's
feel like the
real.
fly in
It's
the room.
genuine, yeah.
You want to watch the scenes. You want to watch the conversations. You want to watch all of these things happening. Yeah.
Guys, I feel like my opinion is I feel like you cannot cut the sex scenes, right? Because
I love the sex
and whether you love the sex scenes or not, what we're trying to do is we're trying to compete with other markets.
Yeah,
right? Like,
international,
whether you
global
want it or not,
scale,
if we
yes.
want more funding, if we want more people interested in these things, right? We want to kind of keep the standard that they love about like the American films, the European films, whatever that is.
Yeah.
There's a standard to it, even when it comes to the action scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If there's no good
Cruise.
car driving
Yeah.
scene, then it's kind of shitty. Yes.
Sorry, would you wanna?
Yeah, so I was saying, with this scene, I'm sorry we don't have a mic. So you
Yeah.
just say it, as I say it, you say it. So with this scene, it wasn't a sex scene. It was rape.
Simulation,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
simulation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not a
Okay.
sex scene in the
All right.
vibes where
All
it's
right.
consensual.
And people are fully clothed also
All
in
right.
the scene.
But it's we have to understand.
Let me take this. Yeah, let me take this.
Okay, go
Let me
for it.
continue it. Yeah. Okay.
Hold on.
Go.
Before you take it, I also got to give you a very important context to that is
Yeah.
it was agreed that there will be no simulated sex even within that.
Yeah,
rape
yeah.
scene.
It's just,
Yes.
That's also critical. But
Okay.
When she
All right.
says thrusting happened,
it wasn't supposed to happen at all.
Yeah.
agreed that we're not going to simulate rape.
Anything,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
you'll make that point after I.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
you'll make that point. Make sure you
sensitizing
make that
it,
point.
'cause- Yeah, okay.
Okay, cool. So we just find out that now it's more so the rape scenes or the simulation of sexual assault, not necessarily the sex scenes.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
intimate scenes,
Different chat,
but like
yeah,
the
yeah.
simulation of. I mean, can we say rape? We're gonna say it, right? Because I don't understand when people say grape and all this shit like that. It's just,
I get you.
It's wild.
That's ridiculous.
But it was more so that should we regulate that? Because you were saying the sex scene shouldn't go. I agree.
Yeah.
But what about the rape scenes, the sexual assault scenes? What about?
I would love to answer that question. One of the most famous rape scenes in this country is from Yizo Yizo.
I was just about to say that.
Oh.
I was literally just about to say that.
But now let's think about why it existed.
Wow.
It was an educational tool, right?
Yeah.
If you weren't afraid to go to prison before,
You definitely scared after that. Yeah.
And this is where I think, and this goes both with any form of sex. How does it progress either the story forward, right? And this is, I generally, like, I've written out sex scenes that I'm going to say, hey, so your character's going to sleep with this person. I'm like, why?
Why? Yeah, the why. What's
And
the why?
Why?
I remember you said you don't think rape scenes contribute to the story.
No, I didn't say that. So I said that if the sex scene doesn't contribute to the story, then I don't
You don't need to
include
include it.
Now, so if you're showing
But then if you want to compete with other markets because the film industry is a business at the end of the day. So if you want to compete with other
I'll
markets.
kill that quickly. Indian people don't kiss. They're the biggest film market in the world.
Yes.
But then there's like 1.1 billion of them.
Also,
versus
but that's a
60
market.
million.
But it's still part of the.
possible.
Still, I get what you're saying, but I don't think that's what he was really saying.
No.
He was just saying that if it doesn't have a purpose, like in the story,
To tell
he
the
doesn't-
story that we're trying to
and
tell.
he doesn't unnecessarily just add it in because hey, we need to compete.
I want to ask something to the actors in the room. If you guys were casting directors,
I have been.
are you then hiring actors who don't want to do sex scenes?
Ooh, nice
Because
question.
I mean, as a director,
Good
I'm also
question.
creative. Then you're limiting me, guys. I'm not desensitizing the topic. I'm just pivoting, and so I'm asking as a casting
Playing devil's
director.
advocate.
I have
as a casting
I have an
director,
interesting
do you
example
think-
of that. I don't know
As
if it's going to be
a
legal.
casting director, do you think it desensitivizes actors when they have non-sexual scene clauses?
Okay, so I have to.
Because who's going to hire you? You don't want to.
Yeah, I'll give you a crazy example because I've had
camera.
to do this before. So, firstly, I would say this, like, man, I don't think having to be naked or have sex has got anything to do with your career.
As an actor.
By the way, I feel the same about if people don't want to do LGBT scenes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to disqualify an actor because they don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, so what, man? That's not for you, whatever. I don't have an issue with that. Here's where it's find interesting. I had to cast a scene where it had a lot of women bare-breasted on the floor,
set,
on a set. And we were in a very remote place. And I had to find, and this place we were at had no actors in it. And like there wasn't like extras or anything like that.
Wow.
So like, oh,
We
damn.
were fast. I had to go find people who had to be bare-breasted.
What?
So I remember
Couch casting.
no. So the casting director made a massive mistake of going into of the villages there to ask the women there to come be bare-breasted on camera, and they almost got murdered.
Wow.
And I was a cast coordinator. I said, wait, can I try another method? Right. I went to go find sex workers.
Okay.
Right.
That's thinking out the box.
Yeah, so I was like,
that's in line.
No, it is. For him.
Because in my mind, I was like, okay, let me go find people who might be comfortable with their bodies on camera and film and whatever.
Yeah.
So I won't tell you how I found these sex workers. But then I ended up going.
I mean, it's the oldest.
No, it's
Very
not.
obvious.
It's the oldest.
No, it's not that obvious.
The couch.
It's not that. Okay, actually, let me clarify that bit just in case I get in trouble. I went to.
A man who loves his wife. A man who loves his wife.
Come on.
So there are certain members of that crew that I asked, like, where can I find? So I was like, oh, these members of the crew generally go and partake in that.
Yeah.
So like, okay, cool. So I asked them, hey guys, I'm looking for sex workers. Where can I find them? Like, oh, they gave me the number of this person.
Yeah.
I spoke to this person. I'm like, hey, listen, this is what we're doing. I'm looking for ladies who are willing to be, nothing sexual happens to them. They just need to lay bare-breasted. Are they comfortable? She gathered all the sex workers in that group, asked them, and they all consent. We asked them to consent, and they're like, yeah, perfectly fine. We paid them. They did the stuff, and they left. And I think in that instance, And by the way, on that very movie, there was actresses who were comfortable with that in those words. Am I going to not give you a job because you're comfortable? No. Now, however, if your job is to be a sex worker in this movie, right? And I'm saying there will be nude scenes, which is declared, and then you must not come for that audition.
Yeah, at all.
And the moment and by the time you sign your contract, it must stay in your contract like you. And by the way, that's happened with me now in this movie I'm about to do now. They just added the sex scenes recently. The director called me like, hey, this is what we want to do. Are you comfortable with this? And etc. I'm like, what's the limitations? And before I even get on set, that has to be signed and put into place. And then I also need to go, I had to call the leading lady like, hey, this is this, are you comfortable? Okay, cool. Where's our lines here?
I see, does that too.
And then that is put on paper. And even on the day, we will do the whole thing. So yeah, so I wouldn't remove an actor because they're not willing.
Can I also share something that I've experienced? I've experienced the other side of that where I just came out of Big Brother. And I was on a show. I won't say the name. I was on the show, and my character
and
was.
Are they not paying you anymore?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
I was on I was laying there in the bed, and the couple was myself and a fellow thespian.
Yeah.
And there's no anything sexual. It's just a couple sitting in the bed and talking. Boom, 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 boom. And then at the end of the scene, my character gets up and he walks to the loo. That's it, right? Now, I don't know whose bright idea this was, but they just said, yeah, just...
Oh, you're playing a gay character.
No.
He said no with a passion, yeah.
How did we...
No, but then you... Okay, sorry, finish the story.
Let me that. So I was supposed to just get up and walk, right? I knew that. So I read that, I knew that. And then I just got pulled to the side. It's like, we just need you to not have pants on. We'll put something in the front. Yeah. And I immediately said no to that. Like, because they asked first. My thing was, why does he need to? I didn't understand the reasoning behind why does my ass has to be right there for that scene? Because he can just walk out as he was sleeping.
So
there was
not just no pants. It's like naked with something.
Yeah, so he never fully exposed.
No underwear, nothing. Like just
basically,
that's crazy. Just
the
to ask
camera
you like
won't
that.
show the penis.
It's like, we need you with nigga.
I mean, they can ask whether or not they get
it. It's okay to ask. It's up to you. But when I got pulled to the side afterwards, after I rejected, because I was worried in my beginning, it was like one of my first big roles. I was worried. I was like, damn. My career is over.
Yeah,
like, they're going to tell me, we'll talk amongst each other. I'm never going to walk again.
Yeah.
And someone has just said to me, they were just pushing. They just wanted to see what you say.
But now imagine, you as a man, right? He felt that pressure. Yeah. And he thought to himself, damn, what if this is like, now I'm ruining my career. Yeah. Imagine how many women who are frail and really don't know how to speak up and have that conversation and stand their place have been victim to not even knowing that it was a choice to say no.
No, that's the truth there. And this is why I'm saying you cannot pick sides in this thing, man. And I also have a big problem with saying that no, people can call cut, whatever. You don't know what's going on.
You really don't.
No, but legally,
you spoke of
I get where she's coming from.
I understand as well.
Legally, I get where she's coming from, because we have put this frame in place to let you know it's in your contract. You can call cut at any time.
It's part of the thing.
So then when you don't call cut, now who must take responsibility for you not calling cut?
This is why I'm saying you don't give that to those people.
A professional has to come in, a therapist has to come in, a psychiatrist has to come in.
And I'm saying...
And then it has to be proven that
I'm not giving you that power.
You know,
I'm saying I'm not going to give you that.
You're removing it.
I'm removing that whole
You're
thing.
removing
Because
it
I'll give you an example. We can all train. Like I train martial arts, right? I train jiu-jitsu. I know I'm proficient with a gun. I'm proficient.
Tom Cruise.
The reality is, in a real life fight, I'm expected to know how to do it. But in a real life fight, when somebody pulls up a gun,
you're really fighting them.
Who knows if I freeze?
Yeah.
And I feel like I have the tools, I know how to do, but who knows when it's time.
Adrenaline is another thing,
and so you cannot use it. And yes, I have the capacity, the capability to defend myself in that moment. I might even have the blicky right with me right at that moment.
But you might freeze.
But to reach for it when it's happening is a different
seconds.
You cannot use that. That for me is not a good thing that somebody didn't say no. Doesn't mean it's right. Like, it doesn't mean it's consent.
I want to add to that.
Never that.
Go for it.
If actors want to be regulated like other professionals, then they must expect to be treated. I mean, you guys are not getting royalties, right?
I mean, regulation and royalties, that's
there's
a difference.
Because royalties is a separate contract. You can, I'm sure there's plenty of actors that have that agreement.
I got it.
You got it, right? There's plenty.
You good.
So then just to land, I'm like saying, if actors need to expect to be treated like other professionals. Other professionals are expected to report certain instances and they are expected to follow due processes that are agreed upon on paper. And other professionals are held to a certain standard and they're trusted with an amount of responsibility. So we can't say if an accountant spots fraud, they need to immediately pick up the phone or immediately send an email. And you can't trust an actress to say cut. To me, it's you guys are both professionals, both trained, both experienced, but
I hear your point, but there's nuances.
Yeah, there's nuances to it.
Yes.
Because
I agree
as
with
far,
you,
as
but
far as I
there's
understand
nuances.
it, there's actual lived trauma about that. Although it was acted, I don't know, you guys can correct me. She's spoken about it before, but she has experienced that in real life. So a person who's experienced that might freeze. You know, let me just actually,
Fair.
you know,
But we can't. Unfortunately, like to your point, we can't win cases on that.
It's like
that's why we don't. That's why we're not. We're not trying to play judge and jury.
You can't really win a case on this. And like she
it's
can
like
say,
saying a
but when you
couldn't shoot a bank robber
because of trauma. But when you signed this contract, you
in.
knew that we would be doing this type of scene. You knew.
I like the policeman officer thing. It factors in. It doesn't win cases, like you said. For example, a man who shoots somebody at a traffic light, and they'll bring up the history that he's been in the military and he has PTSD. It does add. It's not enough to outright win, I don't think, but it's definitely it plays a role.
But the defense could also say because you were in the military, you had PTSD. You know what a gun can do. You know the damage of shooting someone and blah, 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 blah. So now
I think we just don't have enough.
I want to just land on this whole thing and to say, like, one is I hope these two people find a way forward to resolve it. They're not going to find it through us.
Yeah, no, that's not.
It's not going to be found through us in these conversations.
As the community.
It's not going to be found through us. It won't be. It has to be a process that has to happen between the two of them. If it has already happened, it has happened, and through legalities and stuff like that. So we're not helping the situation by saying this person's bad, this person's wrong.
And we're not doing that. We're definitely not doing that.
No, I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about as a nation.
In general.
I think let us allow due process to take place. Right? And allow that to be the final judgment on all this. And I think all of you would probably want that.
Yeah, to get the final judgment.
To get proper due process to occur and happen. And again, I think in the same way that the victim's name must be protected, I think the accused name must be protected until such a time that the thing is declared. Because you're right, the reputational damages can be considered to be unfair.
Okay, but protected in what sense? Because again, the accuser is coming to public, right? This is the world we live in. And then now you're forced to make a statement in public. That's where we at.
That's when it was put to the court of public opinion. And that is kind of like now, okay, are we fighting this on a public court with no burden of proof? Or are we fighting this in the legal places? And right now, we're in the kangaroo court. You know, and I'm just asking ourselves, are we going to get to a point? Okay, for example, now, if then they say like, okay, I'm done, right? What has happened now? How is this? What's the resolution? You're not going to provide that resolution?
It's not going to come from this. Again, exactly what you're saying.
I totally get what you're saying.
I mean, listen, it's a very interesting topic. You say, it's not just this industry or your industry that goes through this, and you don't want to minimize the things that other people in other industries have gone through, right? But, you know, one question that I had, the first question that I had when I heard about this story was, and I want to hear from you and yourself as well, what do you think that can be done better on sets to protect women?
Wow.
Oh, okay. I want to, and be very careful in this, I don't want it to be protect women.
I want it to be about protecting women because I think women are in a very sensitive position at the end of the day. They're the ones being depicted being raped. Yeah, man is not being raped by a woman on a normal day, on a fucking, you know what I mean? So just for their comfort and, you know, just to stand in solidarity just for women in general, what do you think can be done better to protect women?
Oof, that's tricky. To be honest with you, I think it's being done.
Yeah, it's already done.
It's more about, application and it being, with trusted bodies. To be quite frank with you, there's organizations like Swift. If you even go through this case on its own, you'll see how many processes we're going through. So I think it has been done, to be fair. And I think it has been done. And it doesn't matter how solid a system you have.
True.
You will always have an incident. We cannot remove the human thing. So I honestly have to speak very kindly of my industry. I definitely think that there's actions being done.
True.
However, right, and I have an issue with it just being women because you'll be surprised how many men go through this.
Really,
you'll be
bro.
so incredibly surprised.
Can I just share something?
Please.
I've froze. on set before. Like where something was being done and you just man up afterwards. It's the same way I man up to the slap. You sit there with the intimacy coach and they tell you, boom, what are your red zones? What are your green zones? So this is where we're playing. We rehearse it. And then when the moment comes, the red zone gets, you know, and then you freeze because like the camera's here and you in character still, you're playing it. And afterwards, it's like, oh, you were fine with that. And it's just kind of like, you got to man up about it and just move on. You know what I mean? So I get where you're coming from also. It's both ways.
But on a final statement, to just close it up, I think, look, my wife taught me something. The reason I'm with her is because she taught me something, and this is my religion. I said my religion, but this one sentence kind of covers something, right?
Yeah.
And she taught me the pagan creed, the Wiccan creed. So they're the witches. They have a creed, and it's a simple line. It says, "If it harms none, do as you will." Do you know? And that includes self. I think none is yourself.
Yourself as well.
Yeah. So for me, if we apply that element, and I think it's the base of all religion, to workspaces, to etc., all of us must consider: will my actions harm another or myself? And if we apply that as people, these systems we put in place will work.
Yes.
You know, so that's kind of what I have to say on that.
Yeah, it's kind of like the 10 Commandments. It's one commandment. Yeah, 100%. I agree. I agree. Do you feel anything about that?
I definitely think that, like how he said, we are already doing some things to empower women and to protect them. I still stand. I feel like a woman should be able to say cut when she's not comfortable, and a woman's perimeters and what she's not willing to do needs to be documented on paper. And I can't see how more you can empower her by giving her a director's authority to cut a scene when she's not comfortable with it. As soon as she feels a sense of non-comfort, everyone, in fact, men and women. If we're shooting a scene, you don't feel comfortable.
Shut it down.
Guys, can we re-choreograph this? Because I don't like how this is happening.
So I just want to clear something because also I can see how this. No, and you're right. I just want to be clear that I'm not saying that the actors shouldn't be allowed to cut. I think you definitely should be. What I was saying is they shouldn't have the power to have a safety officer not do their job. That's actually, I just want to be very clear about that. That's very important.
Yes. And just to make it clear what he means, further than that is if he wants to do his own stunts and a safety officer says, no,
you should not.
You're not going to do your own stunts. It shouldn't be up to the actor to say, I am going to do it. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Everyone's there to do their specific job. I mean, okay, damn, that's been a kind of, look at you. He's like, he's in therapy. That's been a heavy
I'm confessed to so many things. I'm like, that happened to me.
That happened to me.
When I'm alone, I'm watching be like, damn.
Hey, nigga, Jesus.
I mean, you need to sue someone.
Hey, you might need to fucking sue someone, dog. Hey, are you okay, dog?
No, I'm working through it.
Are you good?
Look, I mean, we laugh, but like for real, bro. Like,
I'm not okay. I'm working.
Yeah, we laugh, but
but for real, like you know,
serious.
just as another actor, I've been exposed to it, just not just as an actor, but as a man. I've been, you know, we've experienced sexual assault in some form or another.
I'm sorry.
And heck, I'll say this is people who are in front of the camera will not recognize, you know, people touch you and grab you as they think they own you, you know? So we've experienced these things. So it's not to belittle your journey.
Thank you.
If you really do feel like you need to process stuff, I think you really need to look into those things and see how you process those things. And just because we do it, that doesn't mean fun clean. Explore.
Yeah. I mean, since you're speaking already, anything that you're working on right now?
Word. I've got an awesome comic book we're doing. We're going to be dropping the
What's the name of that?
Imbogoto.
Imbogoto.
Funny enough, Imbogoto. It's a great comic book coming out. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Charlize Theron is on it?
Well, she's one of the producers.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. Charlize Theron, okay.
We're very excited about that. We're doing and then we've also got some cool movies coming out. I think you've had Papa Snoopy, Sadie in this movie. We're doing some movies that are
I'm so curious, bro. I know this. I know you're gonna want to shut me down, but I'm so curious.
I'm just an actor. I got time, nigga.
I'm just an actor.
It's his birthday.
He was like, oh, wait, be weird. Because I know. I go, you're an actor turned. You're from being in front of the camera to being behind the camera. That journey, bro. I mean, it's like that. It's a mindset to own. I talk to you about owning all the time because you set up everything. You're like, I don't really need a team. I set them there because maybe I can't be there, right? So now I'm picking up as an actor, and I think a lot of actors are now awakening themselves to that point where they're like, I have some stories to tell. You know, it's great that I landed this role and I played it, but there's some stuff I could bring to the world. How do you get to that level? Because you got access to Shawty's Throne. That's like one of the biggest and first I could even speak of. So how do you? Yeah,
look, I'll try to be quick with this.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it's also to what Teko's doing is like, when you think about how this thing originated, it was somebody sitting on a campfire, telling the story, putting on makeup, putting on the clothes. It was, the actor used to do everything.
Yes.
And the less they did, the less power they had. The less power they had, the more they had to wait on a phone call. Reclaim back and do everything. I don't call myself an actor, I'm a filmmaker. There's a reason I call myself a filmmaker, you know? Same with the musicians. You know, and same with musicians. If you're gonna get somebody to distribute for you, produce, whatever, don't be surprised when you get the littlest amount. The more money, the more work you put in, the more control you have, the more money you make. It's simple. Don't just understand your job, understand your industry.
No, that's facts. Nonnie, yourself, anything coming up?
I think I've produced short form content for too long. I think I wanna come into the YouTube streets now.
Oh wait, are you not on YouTube?
I'm not on YouTube.
That's crazy.
What are you waiting for?
I think I want to get into YouTube now, so people can just go to my page.
Yeah, you better get in there.
Why are you not? The question is, why are you not on YouTube?
Because I feel like, I should. Because I've seen the gap in between just producing like a 2-minute short form video versus a 30-minute sit down video where I'm just coaching and coaching and coaching. So just go to YouTube,
your niche.
Search Coach Nonnie.
Oh, are you on YouTube now?
Yeah, I have a page.
Okay, 100%.
Go into the Coach Nonnie page.
And you know, I wanted to ask, you know, on a personal level, and you tell me whether you want to touch on it or not.
No, it's fine.
You know, what do you say to a lot of the women, a lot of people that say that you're not qualified to speak on, you know, men issues or women issues because of, you know, your own sexuality?
Yeah. Firstly, there's a difference between sexuality and gender. So
there is.
I like men. Let's get that out of the way. And I'm attracted to men, and I'm only romantically involved with men. But like how I said, when a human being doesn't like what you say, they'll either shame you or insult you or guilt trip you. So it's like, if you don't like that I'm the one saying it, are you going to be happier if it's a white woman with blonde hair and blue eyes who have a husband and 3 kids? Is it going to make what I said correct? Then it's really irrelevant. So at the end of the day, I'm a coach and I'm teaching you how to win. It really doesn't matter what I do behind closed doors. But also, I love myself, and I don't even have to say I accept myself, you know? Love myself. I'm fine with myself. Anything other than what I teach is a mere attempt to shape me into speaking quiet, into keeping quiet.
Do you think your transition has anything to do with the insight that you have on the topics that you speak on?
I don't think my transition has to do with anything. I think at best, because I am trained in logistics, which is a numbers game, and I'm also trained in procurement.
Oh, no wonder.
So I'm very much a supply chain management girly, very much numbers, processes.
Analytical,
very analytical, and I'm still studying also.
Wow.
So if you really listen to me, I'm speaking based on a sample pool that I have interacted with, findings that I have met, things within the profession itself. It has nothing to do with my experience and, oh, look at me, I'm so perfect, be like me. It has nothing to do with me, I swear.
Scientific for you. It's
for me, it's bigger than me. Someone else will have to carry this work that I'm doing when I'm dead. So it has nothing to do with me, honestly.
Gotcha.
And also, if you wanted to listen to dating advice, wouldn't you want to listen to someone who's like a merge of both?
Wow.
Wouldn't you want to listen to someone who know both sides?
Fair play. I like that.
There's merit to that, and I feel like that's probably one of the reasons why you're so real.
Yeah,
you know, so I do think it does play a role. I mean, again, it's not that I'm super religious. You're not religious, but I think, you know, nothing happens by mistake, and there's lessons that you take from everything. You know, there's a reason why your life works out the way it works out, and I feel like that is probably a part that makes you who you are,
the journey,
and why you say the things that you say, and the point of view that you have on a lot of those things, you know? But before we wrap it up, there's a segment that we do called All the Smoke. I mean, there's been a lot of smoky topics today. This whole episode was fucking smoky.
Very smoky.
But anything that you want to bring to light that you feel deserves all the smoke, anything that you want to complain about, whether it's the government, whether it's, someone stepping on your shoes, anything that you feel like deserves the smoke this week.
I feel like you guys show us how it's done because my mind is
we do it every week.
I'm like, okay.
Any comments that you saw that rubbed you the wrong way, anything that you feel like needs to be addressed, anything.
Where you want to direct the smoke to?
Actually, I'm just gonna touch on what we just spoke about in terms of me.
It's fine.
I think that it is very hypocritical for someone to claim that they support a certain type of community that designs their clothes, that does their makeup, that styles them, and then they claim to be an ally and whatever. But as soon as they don't agree with what I say, then now it's an issue. Like I find that very
taboo.
Not even taboo,
Never,
like a bit.
Even,
yeah, like just because you didn't like what I said, now you want to be phobic. Like that's crazy, but okay.
Did this happen to you recently?
I mean, whenever I speak, it's never, oh my gosh, she's dumb. It's never, oh my gosh, she's wrong. It's never, oh my gosh, she's ugly.
Yeah.
It's never, it's always
It's a personal jab. It's like
she was born this.
It's a little,
Okay, that's where we want to take it.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that's interesting to
That's
me.
perfect. That's the perfect order.
That's a great order.
Tell me you.
Damn, I think that was pretty good. I don't know.
Hey, what about you? Anything that you want to bring to light?
Any smoke of people? Anything I don't like?
You seem like a pretty zen guy, but there must be something that's making you angry right now.
I would say this.
Angry.
I think that my smoke is us looking for politicians to govern us and to make our lives better. I think we need to go back to citizens really governing themselves. If
That's dangerous though.
No, but and I'll tell you in what sense. In the sense that yes, we must hold our government accountable and our politicians accountable. But if there are kids who don't have shoes, what happened to the good old
Yes,
money?
We should hold ourselves.
Where are they Baba to parole the streets and stuff like that?
Oh, yes.
I think we're just
Culture.
surrendering
I
so
get
much of our power to our government. And I think as citizens, let's be active citizens in this country. By the way, being responsible, to not put the law and like it. It's not just because you're running up people you don't like because they're from another place. If you could use that same energy to, supporting school children, to supporting people who are injured or harmed, or saving up money for businesses, I think we could be doing something interesting.
No, because now I have another smoke.
You have another smoke. Give us all the smoke. We want all the smoke.
I hear what he's saying, and he's so valid, and I support him, but I want everyone else to understand the issue is not foreigners or people that were born from a different country. That's not the issue. The issue is that you broke the law as soon as you're in this country illegally. No one is against having visitors in their house, and no one is against adopting people in need in their house. But no one wants to wake up in the morning and there's a stranger in your kitchen eating your breakfast.
Not knowing how they got there.
Not knowing if this person went through the window or this person was pretending to be a child all along. It's like the issue is that when someone who's undocumented does something on the street, we don't have their fingerprints, we don't have their face, so we can't pick them up on the system. That's the issue. And I hear the noise. 30th of June is coming. If you are legal and you have the papers, you have nothing to worry about. We love your South Africans. But if you know that you did not get into this place the correct way, baby, you're wrong. That's
wrong.
the smoke.
Okay.
What I'm talking about is, and I'll wrap it up. I'm saying, if we can organize for things like that, I'd love to see what we
should do more
for other things.
For our
own things.
Let's police ourselves and let's hold ourselves accountable.
I grew up like that actually. With the whole Otugi ngalana, Bemi ngalana, the more I grew, I saw that started fading.
What's your smoke for this episode?
I usually think about all my smoke before. I didn't think about my smoke.
Whatever, I'm going last, my way.
You go, bro. I think while
I'm going last. You go.
You want to top it now?
Yeah, I'm finishing. I'm closing it.
Propaganda 23rd.
Don't say my smoke again. Don't say my smoke. This is the last episode I'm going to say this.
Jeez, my smoke.
And make it about maybe your industry because you're close to both the people that we spoke about today. Do you have any smoke
around your industry?
I mean, you got slapped, and
I did get slapped.
you have to have some smoke, Dag.
What is my smoke? I don't know. Still waiting on my wife. That's my smoke. I'm waiting for it to pull up on. You were speaking about your wife.
Yeah, he's not celibate anymore, so he's definitely
actually
good for it now.
I don't even know if that's a good enough smoke, man. But yeah, I don't really feel like I have smoke.
Okay,
right now I'm okay.
That's your host, guys. That's your host.
That's fair.
I don't have smoke.
That's his smoke. Anyway, my smoke is 23rd of May propaganda. If you're watching this in real time, that is tomorrow night. Tickets on CompuTicket from 50 Rand. I'll see you there, and I'll see you next week. Boom.
Flamers, we love you.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah.
I'm still driving last night. Strip club packed up ass tight. Table dance on dodging heels. Do you know what that's like?
Emhlabeni kaJehova subscribe nina futhi nibabi if ubheke le channel for 10 minutes longer and subscribe umubi dog. That's why bakuchithela ngoba awuna commitment. Unama commitment issues. Subscribe lapho. Ngeke sizwe ngawo.